All right, we good. I don't know why. Huh. So I don't use Streamlabs. All right, my fault, y'all. All right, we back. We back. We back. We back. That was weird. All right. Anyway, back to what I was saying. YouTube, this would be part 2 or whatever. But um, it's just all about understanding just your value. But when it comes to value, value does not necessarily just depend on how much money you have or how much time you have making money. And I realized this when I was broke as hell being an entrepreneur. Like, wasn't everything shits and giggles for me. You feel me? Wasn't everything shits and giggles for me. Like, bro, I've been broke so long before I made any type of money. And then I would have friends say to me, "Oh man, you're lucky you don't have to do this." Bro, what the are you talking about? Because while you was making bread at Walmart or Sam's Club, I was struggling trying to figure out how the hell I was going to eat. But then the difference is I passed you because what I started to realize is that I needed to take some time out to reconstruct, figure myself out, and build, right? And that's how it works, and that happens. But I think that again, we all have this misconception that what we're doing in our daily lives is actually helping us. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not, right? It's not, right? A lot of people will look for influencers to teach them how to make money. And I really wanted to touch on this point. Can't nobody teach you how to make money? Um, and it's an exact contradiction, some would say, on what I teach. But that person that says that that's a contradiction doesn't know what the fuck I teach, because I'm not a content creator. You know what I mean? I'm not a content creator in no shape, form, facet, right? I don't consider myself to be creating content. You know, what I actually consider myself is somebody that is just a hustler. Like, every single day I wake up, I think to myself how I can get better. And then people could think I'm fucking playing, right? But I'm not. Like, every day I think to myself how I can get better. I was on the phone with a guy yesterday and he was fucking talking my head off about how great we're working, and I'm so glad we're working, and we're just trying to be great, and da da da. And I had to tell him, I said, bro, and he ended up getting a little upset with me. I said straight to him, because basically what it was is he was just calling me to tell me how his day was going. His day was great. It was good. It was a great day. And I agreed. It was a great mother freaking day. But then I said to him, you know, but we got to get uncomfortable. That's literally what I said to him. He said, bro, I was just calling you to say that like I'm having a good day, bro, and check to make sure you was having a good day. I said, I'm having a great day, but I'm just not okay. I'm not okay with the results that I'm getting, because I feel like I'm not doing something that gets me out of my comfort zone. Because see, a lot of us, we don't realize the growth comes from us being uncomfortable, or the growth comes from us feeling like we're gonna fail. You ever go into your job, or be on the way to your job and you don't know if you're about to get fired? You ever go to work scared? Y'all ever go to work scared? Like, you ever pull up to the job and been scared because you don't know if you're going to have a job? And it doesn't necessarily mean you did anything wrong, but maybe you had them butterflies in your stomach. You know, usually that makes you tighten up at work, come to work on time, makes you perform a little better. But you want to know what that is? That's your body showing you how uncomfortable you feel. Jobs have a great way of making you feel uncomfortable, whether it's making you follow metrics, making you do trainings, making you have a superior over you. These are all things to make you uncomfortable, because making people uncomfortable produces what? Produces results. The reason you have a manager, the reason you have a supervisor, the reason you have all those people isn't because those people are better than you. Now, it is a form of structured hierarchy, obviously, but that's not the reason you have these superior titles above you. You actually have these titles above you, because when you have people titled district manager or even manager, or for some supervisor, right? These titles make you scared when they come into the room or when they're going to visit your store, right? Let me ask you a question. The person that works for themselves, who makes them uncomfortable? What makes them feel like, damn, I got to make sure I do my shit right today because some so and so is coming in, right? You ever had that happen at your job where y'all like, all right, we got to get this shit together. We got to make sure the store clean. We got to make sure this. But what happened? Like, how does that actually exist for somebody that works for themselves? Like, how does that actually exist? How do you push yourself? That is where the hustler differs from just a regular person just trying to be something that they may actually not be. See, because there takes an extreme amount of pressure, extreme amount of dedication, but also honesty, accountability, and not accountability just in behavior sense, but accountability in metrics, right? Like if my business wasn't making me no money right now, right? I can either act emotional, I can go ahead and eat some ice cream, I can go try to take a trip and get my mind off of things, or I can say, fuck that, I'm gonna sit my ass down, I'm not moving until I identify what the fuck is going on. Why am I not producing the way I feel like I should? Is it the business or is it me? Is it the product? Is it the consumer? Is it the target? Is it the marketing? What am I not doing? See, this is where people actually fail, because not everybody has that in them. That actually brings me to my next point. That's why everybody isn't destined to be an entrepreneur. Can everybody be an entrepreneur? Can everybody be an entrepreneur? Everybody is not an entrepreneur. But I'm going to tell you why everybody thinks they can be an entrepreneur. And this goes to all of my people around or watching me that are leaders. The reason why people everywhere want to be entrepreneurs. I know a guy has horrible money management, right? This guy has been, I don't want to dox him. This guy has bad money management, okay? Procrastinator. He just doesn't finish anything, right? Now he's never really been a friend of mine, but it's like an outside thing. Like he always comes to me for advice, right? But every time he comes, it's a different venture. So I'm wondering to myself, why the freak this person want to be an entrepreneur? He can't finish another goddamn thing. But then I had to sit back and think about it, and I didn't want to big myself up or create false praise for myself. But I thought, you want to know why a lot of people sometimes want to become entrepreneurs around you? It's because when people see people they feel tangible, people feel or can touch, hug, access you, they think to themselves, this person is human. This person is just like me. And what do you think people that view other people just like them think? Well, if they can do it, I can. If they can start that business, I can. And there's a lot of people that have this, if they can do it, I can mentality. And they ain't getting not one motherfucking result. It becomes frustrating. Especially for somebody like me, where I teach people online, hey, get physical products and sell them, bitches. Sell them. Sell these or sell this or do that. Like, get something you can touch. Why? Not because I want to cash out, right? I don't sell single products. I usually just sell wholesale, right? In wholesale, you don't make a lot of money selling multiple products. Like, you don't make money selling multiple quantities of something because you're already taking a heavy discount off of the bulk of it, right? But I tell people to get inventory, get physical things, because physical things will always be controlled. But digital, regular services like, hey, I'm going to do a detailed shop, right? All of these things, any physical business, a contractor detail, any physical business. You can do it and you might be great at it, right? But here's one thing. You always can be copied in a drop of a dime. Anybody can copy you. Anybody can copy you. Now, in my head, I have exactly what one of my friends would say. He's a contractor. He would tell me, nah, B, nah, they don't got my hand, bro. They don't know how to do it like me. And he's right. He's right. They don't know how to do it like you, right? They can easily learn. No, they can't easily learn. Okay. So let me ask you this. What's the difference between somebody that can paint a room and somebody that can provide the paint? What's the difference? What's the difference between the paint provider and the painter? A huge difference. Let me explain. The person that provides the paint has to have documentation to access the wholesale company for the paint. The painter just has to go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and get a paintbrush. Stay with me. This is the difference. Wholesale products, suppliers, right? We're not talking about Alibaba or AliExpress. We're talking about real suppliers are not accessed to the public. Like the public can't just, hey, I want to buy 3 of your square things so I can sell them on TikTok Shop, right? No, that's not how it works. They ask you for resellers permits, business license, EINs. Why? Because it's important not to saturate the market, but also you have to have the proper documentations and pay the proper cost to actually get into this. You got to pay to play, right? Right? So everybody can't, just like an eBay, sell on Walmart. I don't know if you know, but Walmart.com is technically like eBay for businesses, though, like certified businesses. You know how eBay, you can go right now on ebay.com and create an account. Well, you can go to Walmart Seller Central and try to create an account, but if you don't have the proper documentation, you can't sell on Walmart. Walmart is a massive website. Massive traffic goes to Walmart. But guess what? Not everybody has access to it. So when you're thinking about your business idea or you're frustrated because your business is not getting off the ground, well, let me tell you why, bro. It's because the shit you're doing, anybody can do. Figure out how to make it so that it is you. It is your unique business. Anything that you want to do, you can do as long as you put a spin on it. That's what I wish my mom told me. But instead, my mom told me, anything you want to do, you could do, Brandon. Never say no. Never say you can't. Right? Never say you can't. Fuck that, because there's some shit I can't do. But if I have the network and connections to be the only supplier in my area that can get these square thingy things, there's somebody that's going to pay me residually, consistently to buy them. Facts. Let me tell you why this isn't a good product. Because Five and Below sells these. Five and Below sells these. Not a good product. Why? A bigger chain sells these. A bigger chain can completely demolish me when it comes to this. Then you might be like, well, why do you sell chargers and headphones? Here's the difference. I want you to look at me, and I'm going to give y'all a little sauce on what I do. You ready? The reason I don't sell, even though I get a lot of products, I get a lot of products on a daily basis, right? But the reason why I don't sell products like one by one, like I don't open up a online Walmart store, right? Is because I would easily get demolished. If I'm selling headphones and chargers to regular people, I'm done. I'm done up. Walmart already do that. Best Buy already do that. But then when I thought to myself is, well, what if instead of doing that, what if I supply these products to businesses, to other resellers? See how I put my spin on it? Well, instead of me trying to sell this to kids like 5 and below, why don't I sell this to other people that want to sell these to kids that may not have a 5 and below in the area? That's hustle. That's hustle. The difference between hustle is understanding that anybody can do what you're doing, but not everybody can put the spin that you can on it. Now, yeah, somebody can duplicate the same process that I'm doing, but they would have to have the same connections, same suppliers, and also have the same structure, which they can easily do. But at that point, then it comes to, well, who's been doing it longer and who has the order of operations that can produce. That's when it comes to production. But I just wanted to come this morning and just talk to you guys about just hustle, because a lot of people are hurting for money and also eager to start a business, but not a lot of them actually go to the drawing board and create one. We live in a society where people, thanks, Fish, thank you. We live in a society where people want to duplicate, replicate, be like, act as if they're somebody else. Oh, I'm going to be a drop shipper because this person's a drop shipper. And he said to make sure that we buy these because these are going to sell in July. Like, yeah, he made a top 10 products that are going to sell in July. And he said these are going to sell. So I'm going to sell these. And he got a link under his thing too. Yeah, I'm going to hit that. And then are you fucking stupid? Are you crazy? Like, let's keep shit 100. You ready? How the freak do anybody know what's going to sell before it sells? How does anybody know what's going to sell next month? Right? Let me explain. What happens is companies like DHgate, AliExpress, Alibaba, usually AliExpress, DHgate, no Alibaba, Temu, these companies hit up influencers because they say, oh, well, our brands aren't as reputable, right? People don't actually look at us and say, hey, I want to buy from you. They don't. And if they do it on the low, right? But if I have an influencer like you where people trust, you could say that this product is going to sell this month. They're going to order. And when they order, we're going to cut you in. Stick with me. Person does it, people buy, people see no results. People then say, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. That's what happens. Lo and behold, the influencer that actually pushed this shit out ain't never sell shit in their life. They don't know how to override an objection. They don't know how to pitch. They don't know anything. They don't even know how to talk to a customer. There's a difference between a hustler and being hustled, right? And a lot of people are being hustled, right? And it's easy to hustle somebody that's desperate. It's easy to hustle someone that is desperate. If you are desperate to make money, you will lose money. If you are somebody that doesn't want to spend money and only save money, you will lose money. How the hell would that work, Brandon? Well, because when you save money, you're saving a large sum of money. And then when a rainy day comes, you're going to use that money, right? So the money that you saved will eventually disappear and you will have to start back from ground zero and save again. Saving money or blindly spending money is the best way to be broke. Looking at money as a tool, while also looking at metrics, which are numbers, right? From sales and things. Combine those two, that's the easiest way for you to make money. Okay. The easiest way to make money is seeing in your area or even online, use Google Trends, wherever, right? Seeing where demand is, finding how you can actually get the product that is demanded, get it cheap. If you can't get it cheap and they're charging you and they're taxing you, right? Then you want to order a few and try to see if you can still make profit. If you can't, leave that shit alone. But if it don't work for you, stop doing it. Not overall though. Stop doing it and pivot. I'll give a good example. Repairing phones, right? Phone store I have. When I first opened the phone store, I thought to myself, man, I'm about to be like a T-Mobile, bro. Like, ain't nothing about to go bad, bro. I'm about to do this, that, and the third. It ain't work that way, okay? I couldn't get a customer inside the store to save my damn life. Nobody was coming into a random store. I had to figure out a way to provide some type of value to where people actually want to come in, right? So one of the things was let's create a service where we fix phones, right? So I started hiring repairmen. Every time I would hire a repairman, the repair guy would fix the person's phone, and then he would be like, yo, by the way, I charge cheaper. So like next time you need your phone fixed, just hit me up on the side. Every time, right? So I started realizing, I'm like, damn, bro, I can't even trust them, right? So I said, damn, how the freak am I going to make this work? Because I need repairmen. So people come into the store, they want to get their phone fixed, then they see all the accessories and things I have, and then they buy them. So I'm like, all right, I got to figure out a way. You want to know what I had to do? I had to learn how to fix phones myself. So I didn't quit. I just pivoted. And most of the time when you have to pivot, you have to learn a new way every time. So like, if you're like, yo, eBay not selling for me. Okay. 1, did you try another platform? 2, did you try another product? And lastly, you're going to have to try and decide, how the hell can I learn something to add to my business? Like maybe learn how to SEO optimize your listings, learn how to take better photos, learn how to buy light boxes and use them the right way. You have to learn different skill sets. The first thing I ever did when I was on my grandmother's couch after my mom told me to get the hell out of her house because I didn't want to go to college, the first thing I did was learn Photoshop for flyers, and then I learned what's that? The QuickBooks. It's the first thing I learned, and I learned it all on YouTube. And that changed a lot for me. So like the game I'm giving y'all this morning, I'm telling you it's game. But only the people that really want to succeed will see this as game. Other people will just see this shit as me rambling. And trust me, it's not rambling. Trust me, it's not rambling. And before I go, this is the last thing I want to talk about, because this is something I struggle with. And I think that somebody out there could use this as well, right? Distractions can be the reason you're succeeding or failing right now. I have a lot of distractions in my life, right? Nothing is peaches and cream, right? Shit go wrong all the time. Sometimes you got to realize the reason you're not successful isn't necessarily just because of you. It's because the people around you, they're taking away from you more than you can afford to give to reach that height that you want to go to. The guy that braids my hair said it best, or twists my hair. He said it best. He told me, he said, Brandon, one of the reasons you're probably still not in the place you want to be. I was like, what? He said, because you keep giving to people that God doesn't want you to give to. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you get a lot of things, right? I said, yeah. So let's say money, Brandon. I said, okay. He said, okay, you get money and then you share the money with people, right? Yeah. He told me something that changed my motherfucking thought process. He said, what if the reason you keep having to start over is because you're earning money but giving it to people that didn't even put any effort in earning it themselves? What if you're rewarding people with rewards God gave you, but didn't want you to share to anyone else because they have to earn it on their own? And that meant a lot to me because a lot of us, we are providers. I hope, men that watch me, I hope you're a provider, right? Hope you're somebody looking to provide and grow, right? And I want to touch on that providing aspect. Providing doesn't mean taking care of people. Providing doesn't mean that. That's not just providing. Providing doesn't necessarily mean you have to take care of others. I think when you take care of people, you cripple them. I've taken care of people in my life and they haven't learned how to stand on their own 2 feet. We don't have to take care of people. Sometimes providing can be, yes, having money and resources, obviously, but also having the words of encouragement or words of direction that lead people to doing the same for themselves, right? And I don't want to use the little fish analogy, teaching people how to fish and shit. I don't want to use that. I'll just say this. I learned very early I can't help people make money. I can't. Like, I can't say, yo, bro, listen, I'm finna give you these so you can sell and make your own bread. Every time I did that to a friend, they never made a dime because they didn't have to earn this product, so they didn't give a fuck about selling it. There's a difference between providing in a sense of providing insight, direction, and also providing information. I am a true provider because I can provide with my money, but I also can provide with my information, right? I don't need to provide with just bread because if I pay your phone bill, I pay your light bill, I pay your rent, right? If I do that, what do you learn? That's me controlling you. That a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people view being a provider as doing those things because people are so ignorant that they don't realize control from freedom. Freedom is me giving you information and allowing you to do whatever you want with it. Problem that you're going to run into is the people that I say you need to stop giving to. They'll take the money. They'll take the trips, but they won't take the knowledge. Because when you give the knowledge, they actually have to do something with it. But when you give the money or the trips and all of those things, they just have to experience it. It's a difference. That's when you know who to get the fuck away from and who to keep in your circle. Okay? Because the people around you, they're either going to want to experience you or they're going to want to add to you. It's the difference. Call me with some fucking information. Don't call me talking about no females. Don't call me talking about that guy. Don't call me to vent about your problem. I don't give a fuck about your problems. Don't call me about, yo, bro, you want to go to the... I don't want to go to no fucking party. I want to get this fucking money. I don't want to go to no party. And before, because I can hear people saying, oh, it's not all about money. It absolutely the fuck is. People with no money say that money isn't important, right? It is about money. You want to know why it's about money? For me, I can't speak for everyone. It's about money because I got people coming behind me that I don't want to have to do weird things. I don't want them to have to do anything they don't want to do. I don't want them to have to beg. I don't want them to have to feel like they are forced to work for someone, forced to be put in a position that maybe makes them uncomfortable. I don't ever want my daughter to have to go to work with a pervert boss and clock in and just show up every day because she needs to pay her rent. I don't want my son to ever have to do hard labor and hurt his body to the point where he can't enjoy his life. So it's definitely about money to me. It's definitely about money to me. And this is where people don't understand what a leader is. I've been told several times I'm not a leader. Several people. Several people. Do you think that leaders give a fuck who thinks they're a leader or not? Being a leader is subjective. A woman can be a leader, a man can be a leader. Not everybody's meant to follow everyone, right? But understand this, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. A leader isn't the person that just controls every narrative. A leader isn't the person that tells everyone where to go and all the marching orders. It's not what a leader is. A leader is the person that puts everything on their back and takes the blunt hit, the hurt, the pain, the disgust, takes all of that shit head on. I take the first hit so the person behind me doesn't have to feel it as hard as me. That's what a leader is. A leader has nothing to do with providing for a woman. A leader has nothing to do with being the strongest. A leader has nothing to do with always making the right decision. It's not what a leader is. A leader is understanding that you have to sacrifice yourself, not in a weird way, but sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your fun, sacrifice the things that you want to do for the people on your team to never know that you had to sacrifice in the first place. My daughter ain't never going to remember or think or wonder, damn, dad was just so hurt. He just didn't have a childhood. I don't want her to think about none of that shit. I want her to think about, do I have a way to pay my motherfucking bills if I don't want to do this, or that? That's what a leader is. To me. A leader is not trying to impress people or trying to order or control someone. It's controlling yourself and understanding that silent battles don't always need to be heard. So to all of my leaders out there going through silent battles, to all of my leaders taking punches so other people don't have to feel them, to the hustlers out there trying to find a way to make their business unique so they have value, to the person working a 9-to-5, trying to make some type of extra income just so they can do a little extra. You can do it. All of you can do it. You can do it. You just got to believe in it. And most important, you got to execute. So thank you guys so much for watching, man. I wanted to come this morning, give y'all this. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.